Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports in association with Round for Round Boxing, the new boxing game coming out on PlayStation, PS4, and Xbox One. Check them out, www.roundforroundboxing.com, and check out our playlist of all the latest fighters that have signed to the Round for Round boxing game. The two latest fighters that have signed, Kelly Pavlik, the Austrian Trout, and the first ring card girl that has joined the Round for Round team is Ali Drew. So shout out to Ali Drew for that as well. Looks like there's trouble in Tokyo. There's trouble in Japan regarding Floyd Money Mayweather. Reports have been coming out since he's landed back in the US that the fight is cancelled. His fight against Teshin never was. But according to Mayweather, he said he went over there for a very hefty price. He was going to get paid a lot of money to take part in an exhibition bout. What he's been told now, or there's been a bit of switch and bait, what's happened now is that basically Mayweather was told, in his words, that the organization wasn't giving him an exhibition bout, that it was a full-blown bout, and that kicks would be involved. So Mayweather was looking at this as an exhibition bout in front of some very heavy investors or very powerful businessmen. And Mayweather was saying he's a retired boxer. And he also said that he would be available for autographs and exhibition bouts. Now, was this the first exhibition bout for Mayweather? Something doesn't seem right here. If you're going to do an exhibition bout, which was never going to be televised, what the hell are you doing in front of the world's media in something that was behind closed doors? That don't make no sense to me. That don't make no sense whatsoever to me. If it was going to be televised, it was not going to be televised behind closed doors. You could have done what you were doing behind closed doors, and nobody would need to know about it. And you got your money and go along your way. But oh no, there's something wasn't right. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. What sounds more likely, and this is just my thoughts, are Mayweather went over to Japan, got this young boy, and said, yeah, we're coaxing with a bit of money. We're coaxing with a bit of money and a bit of glory. He's Mayweather. I'm Mayweather. I'm Money Mayweather. I'm the biggest thing in boxing. I can fight anybody I want to fight. Look, I'm coming to MMA. Look how many millions and millions of dollars the fight made between me and Collar. Hey, listen, we can do a similar thing as well. Look, you don't drop any kicks at me. I'll just throw punches at you. You throw punches back at me. Basically, you take an L, and I'll get paid. You'll get paid. Your marketability and your brand will rise. My brand will continue to rise. And we both walk away winners in this. You take it out, but it's okay because you're only losing to me, and you lose to me. Well, everybody loses to me. So you take it out. It's not a bad thing. And hey, you're a young man. You can come back. Look at Canelo. Canelo came back after a loss. But that Japanese young boy must have thought, nah, I'm fighting Mayweather, and I'm fighting him as a kickboxer. And when Mayweather heard the word kicks involved, my man said, you know what? I ain't got time for no kicks. Mayweather made for dust and head back to America and try to spin it and turn it as if it sounds as if it was the Japanese fault. So I can assure you Mayweather didn't fly to Japan on his own expenses. So the whole thing sounds a bit dodgy to me personally. I don't know. What was Mayweather doing? I thought it was a cross promotion. I was thinking, it would be good if Mayweather would have got this bout in Japan in terms of opening the doors for Mayweather promotions and other fighters, cross promotions, some MMA fighters, some Mayweather fighters, blah blah blah. Someone fighting Japan, someone fighting in America. Mayweather may get a couple of fights. Mayweather in America, in Japan. Yeah, I saw that. This thing now, and as I said in the preview, if it's Mayweather versus this guy hand-to-hand combat, mainly just boxing, it's a mismatch. But if this guy decides to throw kicks, then again, it's a mismatch. He might be small, but don't let that small, diminutive figure fool you. This is a guy that knows his martial arts very well. And Mayweather would have been no match for that martial artist, for sure. But if it were just straight hand-to-hand combat in terms of boxing skills under the Queensberry rules, that would have been a mismatch. So, you know, the idea sounded good, but Mayweather made it quite clear in his message that he was a retired boxer. So when he was talking about coming back, why is he now saying in the top of his message that to the public he's a retired boxer? But he wasn't a retired boxer because he was talking about coming back. So I don't know. Now this other story is coming out as well, is that the reason why Mayweather retired over and over and over again was because he was actually on PEDs and he was cycling it. That's why he didn't fight as many times and he retired to cycle the stuff out of the system. And then something's come out recently from the anti-doping association. They've basically said that Mayweather violated all the rules of anti-doping before he fought Pacquiao. All this stuff. I suspect more stuff will start to come out now about Mayweather because the people he probably paid, I'm just speculating now, people who may have paid to shut their mouths are now going to start talking because he can't pay them the same way anymore. If that's the case, I don't know if that's the case at all. But if that was the case and he's no longer paying or lying in the back pockets, then you can expect that sort of garbage to start coming out. So anything and everything is possible at the moment. Anything is done. And, you know, the one thing is you can say about this, it works out for Mayweather anyway. He's been to Japan. He's been over there. They've seen him in all the media across in Japan. So in terms of Mayweather Promotions, he's got a promotional company. Mayweather Promotions up there. The money team, TMT, that's out there. That's free promotion. Didn't pay for that. He's back in America now. I'd like to see Mayweather, if he's going to fight, I'd like to see him come to the UK. Doesn't have to fight like any big fight. I mean, any superb fight. I like him to fight a welterweight. Actually, tell a lie. I'd like him to fight Amir Khan in the UK. I would like to see that fight. Khan v Mayweather in the UK as a farewell fight. I really would, because the UK fans have treated Mayweather. They love Mayweather. Although, you know, they didn't obviously like him when he was fighting Hatton, but they understood the truth real quickly, who the better fighter was. And I think he should fight in the UK. I think he should fight in the UK to thank the UK fans, you know, for staying up and paying for his pay-per-views. And he should come to the UK. He should fight in the UK. He really should. And he should have come and fought in the UK faster than he went to Japan, personally. And the pounds pay well as well. You know, maybe he could work with Frank Warren. He worked with Frank Warren before with Gervonta Davis. So why couldn't he work with Frank again? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Sup, Ingram? I broke the news first on World Breaker Fighting. Hey, bro, come on the show and talk to us, man. I've been all by myself recently. Come talk to me. If I send you a link, you can talk to me. You can chat to me. It'd be great to have you on the show. I haven't done much talking to anybody recently because I just haven't. But once I get back to the UK in a few days' time, I will have plenty story to tell you because I've got plenty of people that want to talk to me that I haven't been unable to talk to. So if I just quickly send you a link, brother, get you in the room, and it'd be great. And you can talk to me about your breaking your first story. Let me... Okay. I'm just going to send the link now. I've just sent you a link via your Hangouts page. So if you come in the room, it would be great to talk to you. I'm really proud. I'm really proud of you. Yeah, my brother there. I just sent you a link via your Google Hangouts. So you broke the news. I'm really. I told you good things can happen, brother. Just got to stick at it. So I'm glad you broke the news, and you probably won't get the credit for breaking the news. So just promoted the kid. I knew this fight wasn't going to happen, brother.
Yeah, what's up, bro?
Tell everybody that the news that you broke the story. Then tell them.
Yeah, man, I got a notification on my cell phone, and it said, and I just so happened to read it. I usually don't read them right away, and it said Floyd Mayweather backs out fight. So I ran immediately upstairs to my office, got on, and just spread the news that TMZ spread it. I didn't see anybody else on Facebook with the information, so I guess I got to see it.
Congratulations, brother.
Yeah.
Your microphone's muffling a bit. Congratulations.
Okay, hey, man, appreciate it.
Listen, anybody who's listening to this broadcast at the moment, we are live from Trinidad and Tobago, but I want you all to get over and subscribe to World Breaker Fighting. He also is the business manager for BWTM. So get over there. Don't just subscribe to his channel now because I'm saying subscribe. I'm also saying hit the notification button. I endorse this man. He's a great brother. He's a good man, and he's got a good heart, and he loves the sport, and he just wants to see well for the sport. And he does boxing. Get across. Very, very smart man. Get across to his channel right now and hit that subscribe button.
Hey, I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, brother. So go ahead.
Now, since this news broke about this particular fight, I've been commenting on the entire thing. It was a weird situation.
Yeah.
And Floyd didn't look right in the press conference. Floyd looked disheveled. He looked it looked like his beard wasn't even brushed. He looked like he was wearing his Uncle Joe's warm. And it did not look right.
Your microphone's still, brother. Your microphone.
I'm sorry?
Your microphone.
Okay, I don't know what's going on with the microphone. Is that better?
Yeah, that's better. Go ahead.
Okay. But Floyd's whole demeanor, his whole appearance, the way he looked, it did not look right during his press conference. And as soon as I saw it, I did a live stream on it. I only do live streams, not videos. So I did a live stream on it, and I spoke on it. I thought, and my whole assessment was Floyd is having financial issues. I'm not saying Floyd is broke, but I think Floyd is having a cash flow issue. Why else would you take a fight that's outside of the purview of boxing when you can make potentially hundreds of $millions fighting any of these guys at welterweight or 54? And he goes silent for 3 days. In between, we hear an announcement he's getting $88 million for this event. We heard this yesterday, and we heard this morning. And so this afternoon, all of a sudden, he pulls out the fight. And when you read the statement that he released, TMZ, the first thing that comes about is basically I had a disastrous trip to Tokyo. My experience was bad, and they misled me. And I'm paraphrasing this. And he goes into it, and it just didn't look right. And so at the end, hey, I'm still a guy that makes, gobs of money, record-breaking money, yada, yada, yada. He's trying to keep an image at the end of the statement, but pretty much prior to that, the statement says, I had a horrible trip, a misunderstanding, they lied to me, and yada, yada, yada. But it really, to me, reads into the fact that Floyd is doing things outside of the Al Heyman influence, in my opinion, and outside of a lot of things because of his spending, because of the way he's trying to maintain a lifestyle. That's what it reads to me.
To me, it sounds to me that maybe the Floyd Mayweather influence might be unraveling, because it's. I think I looked at the fight and I thought if these two guys were to fight hand-to-hand combat, just boxing, Floyd beats him. It's a complete mismatch. But if this guy is allowed to throw kicks at him, it's a mismatch again.
Yeah.
So Bout itself would have been a mismatch if Floyd was able to just box him. And the Bout would have been a mismatch if this guy was allowed to throw kicks and fight use his whole soul to fight. I thought that it was going to be a situation where Floyd would have said, you know what? Listen, take this money. Your profile will rise. Don't throw any kicks. You get beat. Everyone gets beat by me when I fight them anyway. You can come back. You're young. You're like Canelo. You can come back. Canelo's come back. And once you beat me, you're going to have a global status anyway. You'll come back. People want to see you fight again. And you're fighting hand-to-hand combat against a pound-for-pound great. So, hey, It's win-win for all of us. That's what I thought Floyd sold to the Japanese. But I think somewhere the Japanese like, no, I'm not gonna lose to you. I'm not gonna talk to you. And of course, we got what we got now. So it probably didn't work out the way Floyd wanted it to work out.
Yep. And Floyd's I think somewhere along the line, Floyd's card was yanked right out of his hand. And this has been actually a pretty big news day for boxing. You had the Mikey Garcia Errol Spence fight at Cowboy Stadium.
Going to talk about that
on March 16th. You have a lot of big things happening in the sport. It looks like the sport is starting to move forward. And we've commented about the constipation of the sport of boxing, because that's all I can call it, constipation. It's a stoppage. It's a blocking.
There's another huge fight that might be announced shortly, and we'll be breaking it live on the channel. Back, so stay tuned to that as well. Big fight.
Okay, give me this much. Is it European or American?
It's American.
Okay, cool. Can't wait.
It's American and European.
Okay, cool. That's what it's about. All we want to see is this sport move forward. I don't care where the guy is from. I don't care where the guy is at. I just want to make sure that we have the best fighting the best. This is what I live for. You know?
Absolutely. I don't think, I know people talk about Mayweather fighting a Porter or a Garcia or Errol Spence. And I understand people's point of view for that. But I also understood it was great business sense him going to Japan and fighting a Japanese fighter if it was just hand-to-hand at boxing, Queensberry rules, because it furthers his brand.
Right.
I understood that. But the kicking business, nah. And I read somewhere that was 4-ounce gloves, the rules, and Floyd was the only one allowed to throw kicks.
And you know what's funny? During this whole escapade, Floyd had mentioned that he had some wrestling ability, and they were trying to work out the rules, but all of a sudden it was supposed to be this, it's supposed to be that in the statement, and it wasn't. It was supposed to be an exhibition match.
Yeah, Floyd got some good moves. He uses his elbow in all his bouts. He uses his elbow, really, his forearm, very good.
Yeah.
Hey, and you have to do it. So let's talk a little bit. I mean, I'm here while we're here. Usyk versus Bellew. I have to say, Usyk has got Bellew lined up to a T. If you go and look at, I love press conferences and I love body language. If you look at the press conference, the first press conference for Bellew Usyk, did you see how he had his suit or what he did with his suit? You see,
I hadn't had an opportunity to watch the press conference at all.
I know Usyk up close and personal. And I had the beauty of spending a bit of time with Usyk in terms of doing live conversations with him via Google Hangout, and obviously via James Ellis-Bashir, who had him for X amount of bouts before he became world champion. Usyk is very, very special type of guy. Great character, great personality, very, very funny. And it's because he doesn't speak English very well, but people don't really get what Usyk's about. But if you watch him carefully at the press conference at the end, where where they stand one another and they do the face-off, Bellew standing, you know how Bellew stands in a certain way. Usyk does exactly the same thing, turns the other way and looks at Bellew as if to say, I see you, I see all what you're doing. He basically mocks Bellew in the way Bellew stands. And you watch Usyk and certain things he's doing, he's actually mocking Tony Bellew. He's really mocking him. I'm telling you, from what I've seen here, Usyk is going to put on a masterclass against Tony Bellew. There are people out there that believe that Tony Bellew is going to knock Usyk out with a left hook. This is a guy who won every title there is to win, from amateur days right through to the pros. Right, every title there can be won. Undisputed champion, undefeated. He's fought guys who punch bigger and better than Bellew. He's fought Garcia. He beat Garcia. He beat Huck. He beat all three guys could arguably beat Bellew. And somehow there are people out there that believe Bellew is going to cause an upset against Usyk. And I don't know what planet they're on.
Hey,
He's a
if
good
he
fighter.
upset
You
if
can.
he upsets Usyk, I'll drive out to East Texas, which is about a 3-hour drive from me, and I'll go tip one of the cows that I own right over. That's how I feel. I don't see it happening. I'm not making a 3-hour drive because I don't see it happening.
He can do all he wants. Usyk's gonna put a beating on him. Usyk's gonna put a
Yeah,
beat.
Tony Bellew, and if you're a UK person and you love Tony Bellew, I'm sorry to say Tony Bellew fights raccoons for trash. That's how he gets his belts. And again, I'm a student of boxing. I'm sorry, I got my little boy in the background. I'm a student of the game, and I understand the fight game. I understand there are levels to the sport of boxing, and we love exciting fights. But you can have an exciting fight at your local gymnasium, and you can have an exciting fight in a school cafeteria, but you can also have an exciting fight at the top tier level. And I've never viewed Tony Bellew as top tier unless you watch Creed. And so Usyk is a talented fighter. He's not very well known in the U.S. He's only known to hardcore fans in the U.S., but he's a talented fighter. Now, will this be a feather in the cap for Usyk? I believe it would be. Because of the UK base. They're really carving out a UK base for Lomachenko and Usyk, because I don't know if they think that they can really transition fully over to the States. It's a good move. Lomachenko has somewhat of a presence, but Bob Arum hasn't been very successful in getting Lomachenko the fights that he needs to have to really establish himself as a brand in the States.
Usyk,
I don't think Usyk.
I don't talk too much. I don't want to talk too much about Lomachenko, but Usyk himself has got great personality. I mean, this guy's got in Ukraine. He's like a rock star. This guy's got great personality. If you look at body language and smile, this guy's not a good fighter. I'm gonna say he's a modern day great. I'm gonna say he's a great. You got to put yourself in a line. I think Usyk's a great fighter. I don't think he's a good fighter. I think he's a great fighter.
Yeah.
I think Tony Bellew's a good fighter. I think Usyk's a great fighter. I think there's a difference. There is a difference.
Well, for me, I think Usyk is very talented. How that holds up if he moves up to heavyweight, fully at heavyweight, I think he's top 6, top 7 at heavyweight. I think he's going to have a problem with the bigger heavyweights if he takes a punch.
Bro, did you see what he did against Joe Joyce in the amateurs?
That's Joe Joyce. I don't consider Joe Joyce top 10.
Okay, but let's put it this way. Cruiserweights move up to heavyweights. This guy's quite a big guy. And the other thing you got to look at, speed of footwork. Do you know what I mean? I mean, this guy is more, I think this guy is more talented than Evander Holyfield. Holyfield had heart and guts and all the rest of it, but defensively wasn't great.
Yeah, I disagree with that. I think you're right to an extent, but Usyk has the one fatal flaw that you need at heavyweight. You need some level of power. You really do need some level of power to contend.
Okay. So wait. So are you going to tell me that Muhammad Ali was a power puncher?
No, I'm going to say he was a volume puncher. That after a while he hurt you. He could hurt you with a shot.
Usyk will hurt them heavyweights. He will hurt them heavyweights. Because you remember, the punch you don't see is the punch that hurts you, and he's got speed of hand and foot. Big heavyweights ain't going to be used to fighting guys like Usyk. This guy's not only big, but he's exceptionally talented. I mean, the only thing you've got with Joshua, in terms of Joshua and Usyk, is that Joshua is bigger. He's big. But when you look at skill set, Usyk's far more skilled than Joshua.
Well, let me ask you this: during the World Boxing Super Series, did he take every one of those belts? I don't know. I don't remember how many belts he had going into the tournament, but how many of those belts did he take off a champion, or did he just have one fight and win belts?
I think he won everything that was possibly to win as an amateur.
No, I'm not talking about as an amateur. I'm talking about the World Boxing Super Series. Did he? Because I didn't watch that one. Did he?
I think he won that well as well.
No, he won it. That's how he became the unified undisputed champion of the division. But
Oh,
did he win did he win those belts off of every person that had the belt? I think he went in with 2 belts, if I'm not mistaken. Because
yeah,
cruiserweight
he was
is
WBO
a division I don't follow very much. It's just never been a marquee division.
Okay, he was WBO champion when he went in. And there was the WB. I think the WBA was what's his name? The guy's name. What's his name? Garcia had I think 1 or 2 belts. Let me tell you for sure. This. I know he beat Garcia to get 2 belts, I believe. But I will.
Okay. So basically, what I'm getting at, he didn't go through everybody to get those belts. It was an elimination tournament, right?
Yeah, and he beat the champion there to beat, I believe, if I'm correct.
Right. So he got the undisputed belts through a tournament system instead of just fighting every champion for it, from what I understand. My thing is, I think Usyk is talented, but I have to see Usyk in prime time at heavyweight. So I'm not convinced till I see it. Then I can make that complete assessment and be honest about it. I'm not going to see that.
I'm convinced of him. I mean, that's just talking with him and seeing his trainer, knowing what his trainer's about.
Right.
Let's put it this way. Okay, so let me just go for a second and be sure that this. Right. So I know he beat Glowacki for the WBO title, right?
Right.
Then let's see, WBO, and then Breedis was the WB World Boxing Council cruiserweight champion. I think the belt, the WBA, it seems like WBA belt. Breedis may have had the WBC belt because he was given up. Bellew gave up the WBC belt. The WBO and WBC belt he fought against Breedis, who was unbeaten 23-0. And Marius Breedis, who, by the way, went out and knocked Manuel Shah out.
Okay.
Then he moved out. After that, he went and fought Garcia. So okay, this is the record of the guys he's fought and beat, moving up. So Michael Hunter, 12-0. Then he fought Michael Hook in the tournament, who's 4-1. And that was a guy who was going to have a record-breaking 17th defense of the title or 21 defenses of the title, something like that. And then he got knocked out by Glowacki, who he beat to win the title. So he beat the WBO champion, then Michael Huck, then Marius Breedis, right? And then after that, he goes and fights Murat Gassiev for the WBA, IBF, and WBO championships, which makes him undisputed champion. So he's beaten at least 4 from the top 4 fighters in the division anyway. He fought the top guys with a 15-0 record with 11 KOs. He fought the top guys out there. So when all these people are saying, well, he doesn't have punching power, he's fought guys who don't generally get knocked out. He's fought guys.
Now let me ask you this: Does Usyk beat Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, or Deontay Wilder?
He's got the ability to do it.
No, I'm just asking you straight up. Forget ability. Does he?
I'll tell you after this Bellew fight.
Okay. You're my friend. I'm gonna ask you straight up every time. I'm like, hey,
of course. Yeah. I'm looking to see development from the fighter because for me, I see this fight.
How can Bellew be a litmus test?
No. Exactly. That's my point. It's how he handles this Bellew fight because I'm calling him a great fighter. And remember, for me, this is the doorway fight between cruiserweight and heavyweight because Bellew's coming from heavyweight back down to cruiserweight. And I want to know how much Usyk weighs on the night, how much because I suspect he's going to be past the cruiserweight division limit on the night against Bellew. Mm-hmm. That's what I suspect is going to happen. More so.
You think he comes in at 215, 220?
That's what I expect to see him at. That's what I'm expecting to see Usyk at. Because I suspect Usyk and his team will be thinking this guy's going to put a bit more weight and move up to heavyweight. That's what I think Bellew's going to try and do. Rehydrate and push himself back up to heavyweight. And there's no reason to do that because he did that stuff when he won the vacant title against Makabu. He was like, I think 30 or 40 pounds heavier than Makabu.
My opinion of the matter is based on what I've seen of Usyk, based on what I've seen of Bellew. If he doesn't put him out, within 5 rounds, I think he's going to have to take a few more fights to get accustomed to it. Bellew's not a talented. He's not on the talent level of Usyk. Honestly, it's kind of hard to gauge Tony Bellew up against anyone of high quality because he just has not fought anyone of high quality.
Yes,
David Hayes.
He has fought some high quality. He has fought some high quality. He got his head taken off his shoulders.
Oh, that's what's his face.
Your namesake.
You said what?
Your namesake, Adonis.
Yeah, I forgot about that fight.
Clean off his shoulders.
Yeah, you talking about the one-hand wonder in Canada. Yeah.
Hey, it's what a hand though. What a hand.
Yeah, I agree. I forgot about that fight.
Shout out to Kenny a second. Kenny says Usyk's punch output is 70 punches per round, and average punch output for a cruiserweight is 40-50 per round. I see Usyk dominating Bellew and stopping him, or Colwell pulling him out. Listen to me. I think in boxing, at times you've got to put your neck out in line. I think Usyk's going to be a great fighter. I said to people about Kovalev and his punching power, I said, this guy's going to be a serious puncher in the division. But
isn't Usyk about 33? 32, 33, if I'm not mistaken?
I'll tell you now.
Yeah.
He's 31.
Okay, he's 31. So he could very well be in his physical prime for a couple of more years, maybe 3 more years.
Mm-hmm.
So he has a lot of work to do.
Not really.
Well, I'm saying, I know because of his undisputed status.
Yeah,
he can pull the Anthony Joshua fight as a mandatory.
The plan is at the end of next year that Usyk and Joshua are meant to be fighting. That's the plan.
Okay.
They're trying to get Dillian White and get Usyk at the end of the year. Now, check this out. If the winner of Fury and Wilder doesn't get Joshua, but they fight, and Usyk decides to fight the winner of Fury versus Wilder, then I'll answer your question for you.
Right.
He's not going to mess about at heavyweight. He's not going to mess around at heavyweight. He'll go straight for the jugular. He's not going to mess around. Guys like that, he'll go for the best fights. He'll go for the best fights. And he's got speed. He'll have speed, hand and foot. I mean, a lot of heavyweights are going to be clumsy. You know, it'd be interesting. I'd like to see how Deontay Wilder handles a guy like Usyk. I think that's a great fight.
I think that's a more challenging fight than what he's walking into on December 1st, honestly. I've been preaching this for months. I keep saying this. Tyson Fury should have fought at least 4 to 5 tune-ups before taking that fight. And you can't do what he's trying to do and it turn out good. You know, you can't have 2 light fights, a major weight loss, and walk into the building and fight the top of the food chain. And whether you like Wilder or not, he's top of the food chain.
The thing is, yeah, I agree with you there. I do. I've said this. I've been saying this for time about this fight. So, you know, it's all well and good Tyson doing all that talking and all that stuff. It's great. One right hand can end all of the plans. One right hand. Ben Davidson can sit down and say, yeah, well, we're seeing this and we're looking at that. And you know, one right hand scrambles your senses. One right hand.
You know what Steve Cunningham said about Fury today? The Fury Wilder fight today? He said, he says he can see Tyson Fury winning all the rounds until Deontay Wilder knocks him out. That's exactly what he said.
Well, that is the thing. That's the thing. That's the, that's the thing. That right hand, I tell you, that right hand is that step around move he's done as well. I saw there's a comment that somebody made today about Wilder. I said if he can't hit the pads, how the hell is he going to hit Tyson Fury?
Yeah, people have these delusions about Deontay Wilder. They don't understand athleticism. They don't understand speed, power, and the differences in that. Tyson Fury moves awkwardly in the ring against lesser competition. Tyson Fury is walking into a ring against a guy that literally has an NBA body. Now, if you've never watched the NBA has probably pound for pound the best athletes in the world. They run, they can jump, they're strong. This is a guy that has 40 knockouts. And in his last 10 fights, you can't say he's fighting bums. In his last couple of fights, arguably the last fight he had with Luis Ortiz, I mean, Ortiz is top 3. Ortiz is probably the second most feared man in the division. People talk all this noise, but no one's fighting this guy. Okay?
Yeah.
People talk all this noise about his age, and that's the only thing they can attribute to his age. They can't talk about his skill. They can talk about PEDs, but he acquitted himself well without PEDs in a Wilder fight.
Yep.
Okay? So there are no excuses. There's nothing you can say anymore. The fact is, he took the guy that was considered the second most dangerous heavyweight. He took his best punch, survived, wasn't knocked down, had the wherewithal to manage 2 rounds because he was hurt for 2 rounds, and then he knocks his guy out. That's what made Wilder dangerous to the rest of the heavyweight division.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's what people don't understand.
I was going to mention that it looked like you were listening to my comments about who to bring in for sparring, because as soon as I said that after the video, Lawrence Okori got flown into America. But he's got the right frame, though. He's got the right frame for Fury to work with.
Yeah.
As hard as Wilder, and that's the thing. That sort of power, you can't prepare for that kind of power. You really can't.
No.
You can't.
Listen, George Foreman,
heavyweight in the world that punches like Wilder. But that's speed of movement. There is nobody in there that prepare for like that. You really can't. So I don't know what Tyson has apart from sparring with cruiserweights.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this is like what I said on my live stream earlier. We were talking about the Errol Spence Mikey fight. People are trying to say, hey, Mikey can do this and Mikey do that. Mikey might have a game plan. He might even see a flaw in Errol's game.
Right.
But once Errol touches the body and the hemorrhoid pops out of his butt, that fight plan is going to change.
Let me spin this back to you a second, right? And you know I love Derek James. I love Derek James. You know that he's like a brother to me. But listen, who the hell has Errol Spence Jr. fought for everyone to be scared of him?
Listen, the only credible guy
I didn't ask about credibility here. I said, who the hell has Errol Spence fought for everyone to be so scared of Errol Spence?
Like I said, the only credible guy to be scared of.
See, there you go again. The only credible.
I'm saying it for good reason.
Of course, I know exactly where you go with that. But
where am I going with it? Where we're going with it?
You know, the only credible guy he's fought was Kell Brook.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Is Kell Brook scary? I don't think so.
Oh, I don't think so. But I had this same conversation with Beverly. I said, Beverly, okay, all right. Who's the actual?
But who's also stepping up to fight Errol Spence at the same time? So it's kind of a flip side question.
Yeah, of course.
The guy hasn't been able to get a credible fight. And now that he has a fight, and Mikey Garcia said this, he quoted this. He said this out of his own mouth. They could have had this fight earlier, but Errol Spence wanted to wait to see if he can make a unification fight with Sean Porter. He was trying to make the unification fight. Sean Porter had different plans. That's according to Mikey Garcia. And so now that time has passed, they've made the fight now.
Yeah,
And you know, this is why these things take so long because there's so much maneuvering and dodging. You know, we watched the fight when Errol Spence got in the ring and he called Sean Porter out to his face. And Sean Porter said, "Hey, I don't see a problem making that fight." 42 minutes later, Sean Porter's talking some business shit.
yeah, but okay.
42, literally 42 minutes later
Yeah, but hold on.
in the
But
press
hold on. Hold on, hold on. I understand that, but I remember. Let me take you. We'll go back a few years. Few years. You remember when Kubrat Puda first hit the scene? Kubrat
No,
Puda.
actually, I don't.
You don't remember that? Okay, I'll tell you the story about Kubrat Puda. Most dangerous heavyweight in the world. Dangerous.
Mhm.
Who wants to fight him? Well, I found the inside track on that. Another one. What's the other guy did? The Nightmare. The guy, the tall Norwegian guy. Robert Hellenius. He was knocking
Mhm.
guys out of the place. They're here to the
Mhm.
clip. Nobody wants to fight him. A lot of the times with these situations, it's money,
Mhm.
striking the deals that the deal that like for example, for Kubrat Pulev. Kubrat Pulev was meant to fight. Brian Jennings was going to go over to Bulgaria to fight Kubrat Pulev, but Kubrat Pulev was only offering something like 250,000. He says out of that money, 250 flat, out of the money, he had to pay his own expenses, hotel room, pay for his trainer, pay for promotion. He said that's monkey business. There's no money there in that.
Right.
Nobody wants to go and fight him. Nobody wants to get paid peanuts to fight Kubrat Pulev. So
Mhm.
there's that situation there. Sometimes, and just sometimes, not always, it's not about the fighter itself, but sometimes a fighter's demands can be a problem. Where
Well, put it this way:
I
after
don't.
this Mikey Garcia Errol Spence fight, Errol Spence is unduckable, probably because and I don't know if unduckable is a real word,
Yeah, we'll use
but
it. We'll use it.
yeah. But at the end of the day, he fights at one of the most swank venues on earth.
Yep.
Holds 110,000 people roughly at full
Yep.
capacity.
Yep.
You have Picasso's and you have Andy Warhol originals in the corridors of this
Wait,
place.
wait. Let me stop you right there. Before you go any further, painting a beautiful picture of what I think will be
Yeah,
a very interesting fight. Um, what's Mikey Garcia done at welterweight? Talk to me about it.
nothing, absolutely
Right.
nothing.
Right. So this fight is a no-win. It's a no-win fight. It's an ugly fight for Errol Spence. It's
Right,
an ugly fight for Errol Spence.
it's a
If he wins,
lose lose.
yeah, it's ugly. If he wins it,
Yeah,
you should have done it. You're fighting a blown-up lightweight. All right.
yeah.
And if he loses, well, he wasn't really the truth anyway.
Right. And the thing is, the truth of the matter is the truth that you've been trying to make the truth of it. And that's what and even when your opponent, you're now guaranteed opponent is saying this guy held off my fight so he could try to unify the belts. A lot of people are trying to bury that. It came out one day, people aren't really talking about the fact that Mikey Garcia made this thing.
Do you know what?
Okay.
Do you know what? If I were Errol Spence, what I would have done? I'd have moved up to like middleweight and fought Hurd.
For what? Why would Jared? That's the problem I have with a lot of these guys. Canelo calls out Errol Spence, or rather, Oscar De La Hoya calls out Errol Spence. Jared Hurd calls out Errol Spence. No, Gerald, Jared, you should be fighting Charlo. That's who you need to be calling out. Honestly, I would love to see that on the undercard of that Spence fight. That would be a great fight to see.
You're telling me you wouldn't want to see Hurd versus Spence? I think
No,
it's,
because I just don't. It's not interesting to me.
it's a
Herb needs to
big fight.
he
You
needs
got
to clean his plate first. His plate is 54. Spence is at 47. That's what I want to see. I want to see undisputed champions at divisions.
yeah, but
I
if
want
I,
to see
okay, yeah, but if you're saying that, hold on a second. Gennady Golovkin got criticized the hell out of because he didn't want to move up in weight and fight guys at super middle, right?
Mhm.
Put it the same way. When you can't get a fight in your weight division, move up. Look at Jessica McCaskill. Sorry, Jessica, I've got to pull your name into this argument. Look at Jessica McCaskill couldn't get the fight with Katie Taylor, couldn't get the fight with Shannon Cameron. What did she do? She moved up to the next weight division and fights the baddest fighter in the division, the WBC champion. Nobody wanted to fight.
This is also the other thing. I think once Spence moves up and weight, he probably won't be able to come back down. And so,
all right, wait, hold on. Look at Broner. He's moved up and down a weight category. Look at what's his name, Mikey Garcia. He's smart. He isn't going to take a Lomachenko fight. He's gone for Spence. He's smart. If I get my ass kicked by Spence, Spence is a good fighter anyway. And hey, I jumped to welterweight division. It was too big a jump for my body. I couldn't do it. Right?
I don't think Spence frame. I think he stays within a certain range off season or off fight. And you want water? Okay.
Well, I heard Spence middleweight. That's what I heard. I heard he walks around at middleweight.
Yeah, that's what I hear too. My brother-in-law lives in actually just moved from the neighborhood. He lived over a street over from Spence for about 2 years. And my brother-in-law, probably about 5'8", 5'9", he thought Spence was a little dude to him because he's 5'8" and about 220. But based off of what he said, you know, he thought Spence was about 160 pounds.
Yeah, there you go.
You know,
I don't understand why you would not want to see Spence versus Hurd.
I just made it plain and clear. I want to see unifications.
Sure, you can still get the unification bout, but in the time being,
I think once Spence moves up, he's moved up. I think he's going to commit to the weight.
Okay, hold on. He
doesn't seem to be one of those guys that like the yo-yo between weight divisions.
But you think it's more acceptable? You think it's a more acceptable fight for Michael Garcia to move up to a division he's done nothing in, achieved nothing in, than for Spence to move up to fight Hurd? You think that's
not at all? Not at all.
Mikey Garcia.
Mikey Garcia should be unifying 35 or 30. I don't think Mikey is asking for suicide in this fight. In my personal belief, I know what Mikey sees in Spence, and he's miscalculating. But the problem is the welterweight division has a case of Floyd Mayweatheritis. Everybody's trying to snowbird, trying to make the biggest fight, trying to get the bag, trying to get paid. And so you have all these people maneuvering instead of fighting. And the one guy that's wanted to fight this whole time, now all of a sudden he's under attack for the same things when he hasn't shown that. Hey, Ingram, I got to cut this short, man. I got to run. I got to take care of something. Let's do it. If you're going to be, you got a flight.
I'll be back on Friday.
Yeah, let's do one Friday, man. Let's do a full blast one Friday.
That's good. We'll talk then.
All right, bro. Take care. Everybody in the chat, man, y'all keep supporting BWTM. We are going to bring the noise, the funk, and the weight to news, entertainment, fashion, music, and everything else. I'm going to holler at you guys later.
Take care, champ. All the best. Thanks again.
All right, bro.
So, just to close off on that, Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence, the fight is being made. I believe it's March 16th. Great fight, I think. And Mikey Garcia got to give him all the credit well for taking the fight. And Errol Spence for taking the fight he doesn't really need to take. So it's great stuff there. Closing thoughts, Bellew versus Usyk. From what I've looked at Usyk. I said I've known Usyk, or known of Usyk for quite a while on this channel. And if you look at Usyk's body language and the way he is, he's been doing a lot of mocking of Tony Bellew. I don't know how seriously Usyk takes Tony Bellew. And I don't mean that I don't know how much respect Usyk really has for Tony Bellew. If you listen to a lot of the Sky people talking at Sky, they're like, oh, you know, how are you going to take on, is Tony Bellew your toughest challenge? Hell no, he's not his toughest challenge. I think Tony Bellew is going to be hardworking. I think he's going to push the agenda with Usyk, try and push him back and force him to fight. I think they'll need us. I think, for me, The Bellew's best chance of this fight, of winning this fight, is to have a small ring, cut the ring off, don't allow Usyk any space, get on Usyk's chest, stay on his chest, and just stay there with him. Don't allow Usyk to get to the center of the ring and box. That's what Bellew's got to try and do. That's what he's got to try and do. But Bellew's hand speed isn't as fast as Usyk's. I expect Usyk to beat Bellew to the punch. I expect Usyk's footwork to be much better than Bellew. Bellew's punch is what he normally would try and land on fighters. I'm not sure going to land in the same way because of Usyk's slipperiness as well. So I think it's an interesting fight between Usyk and Bellew, just for the sake of Bellew just telling the public that he is going to do X, Y, and Z. Now, I've always said Tony Bellew is a good fighter. I've never said he's a great fighter. I said he's a good fighter. I said he's got the tools there to become a world champion. He became a world champion. So he's a hard-working, dedicated fighter. I don't know why he took the fight at cruiserweight, to be honest. I know he wanted to fight for all the belts, and it's a good excuse. Fight for all the belts. And if he gets beat, well, you know, coming back down to cruiserweight took it out of me. And, you know, I dared to be great, but I come up short this time, get my best shot, and then retire. I see that sort of stuff happening. But overall, I think it's going to be an interesting fight. I think footwork's going to be key in this fight. And Usyk's underrated punching power, I think, is going to be key in this fight as well. I think Usyk's underrated punching power is going to be key. So look out for that as well. Usyk has studied Tony Bellew down to the very T. Like I said before, if you look at that press conference and when Usyk is actually looking at Tony Bellew and mocking Tony Bellew the way his posture and how his body language is, Usyk won't be intimidated by Tony Bellew, that's for sure. And he certainly won't be scared of Tony Bellew. And there's nothing Tony Bellew's got in his arsenal or his punch variety that Usyk hasn't seen before. He certainly doesn't punch as hard as Garcia. He's not as accurate as Garcia, or he's not as good a boxer as Breedis. So hard work and dedication and heart and all that stuff is what Bellew will be bringing in abundance. And he'll come off the high of the David Haye fight, believing he can do certain things because of the David Haye fight. But coming into this fight, it may come apparent very quickly he's not fighting a guy with one leg. He's not fighting a guy at the end of his career. He's not fighting a guy that is, this guy's technically sound. David Haye was never been technically sound. He was never a fundamentally sound boxer. He never was. David Haye was what you call a sniper. Get in, throw your shot, get out. You know, David Haye wasn't great, as in he could never fight on the inside. David Haye, his shots were always from long range. So, you know, you give Hayes credit for what he could do, but he was not a classic boxer. You've got Usyk here as a classic boxer puncher, and that's a very big difference. Very, very big difference. So, but Bellew's going to try. He's going to try. I hope there's a plan B. It's not just a plan A. But Bellew's best chance is to negate space. Don't allow Bellew space. Don't allow Usyk space. Close him down. Make sure there's a small ring, and don't allow Usyk to get off the ropes. That's Bellew's best chance of beating Usyk, really, for me. Other than that, I expect a masterclass display from Usyk. Footwork, speed, combination punching, blurring hand speed, and as Bellew's about to punch, Usyk being out of the way. David Haye, jump punch, LOL. Yeah, that I've got to agree with you there. Jump in, throw your shot, and get out. That's it. There was no sort of boxing behind a jab. And of course, when Hayes' reflexes went as he got older, all them bad habits came back to haunt him. So that's it from me, to be honest. David Haye, it's great talking about David Haye, but you ain't fighting David Haye, Tony Bellew. And I think the British fans are going to understand real quickly that this is Alexander Usyk. He is a great character. I expect great things of Usyk. I really do. I think he's not a good fighter. He's a great fighter. I see this guy. I see greatness in Alexander Usyk. I really do. He's a very, very funny guy. He's got great personality, fantastic personality, and hell of a fighter. Really, really. It's a shame that Usyk doesn't speak great English, as we did. Um, he's a funny guy. If you ever want to get to know a little bit about Alexander Usyk, check out our channel. Check out BWTM, which was probably Bayloric TV at the time, and type in Bayloric TV Alexander Usyk, and we've got a sit down interview with him. Where did I interview him? Oh no, Lomachenko. No, 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 no. That's painful. That is painful. Uh, do you reckon there's any chance that Bellew gets his KO win against Usyk? No chance, my friend. Not a chance. Sorry, I don't think so. I mean, if there's going to be a KO in the fight, it'll probably be Bellew. It'll be Usyk. I just, and Bellew does go down in fights. He goes down in fights. He's back down at cruiserweight again. He goes down in fights. Makabu had him down as well. Break down the Crawler fight for the weekend. No, I don't break down any Crawler fights. Oh, forget Crawler, man. Crawler in a final elimination. I hope he wins, but I'm not a big Crawler fan, to be honest. Not a big fan at all. $1 billion Crawler. I understand that guy. Never understood that guy. He wasn't a great fighter beforehand. He has that unfortunate situation. He comes back and he's a better fighter than he was when he wasn't. I don't get that. He gets injured. He comes back and he's a better fighter than he was when he was pre-injury. Never understood a Crawler. He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy, Crawler, but Ricky Burns taking on Scotty Cardell, the man who fights with his face. Well, I spoke about Scotty Cardell before. I'll say it again. If you fight with your face, you're going to get knocked out. And Cardell's got no defense. He went and got knocked out. Ricky Burns should beat Scotty Cardell if he's got anything left, Burns. But, God, why is Burns still fighting? I think Bellew looks sharp in the media workout. I don't know, but I'm leaning towards Bellew. I think he boxes well and packs a punch with some body investment. He might break Usyk. I don't think so. So, you're saying he has a better chance than Mario Breedis. That he didn't want to fight Breedis when Breedis was WBC champion. Well, he didn't want to defend his title against Breedis. So he didn't want to defend his title when he won the WBC title because Breedis was the number one contender. He didn't want to defend against Breedis. He ran up and went and fought David Haye. Now that Usyk comes and clean up them guys, you now turn around and say no, forget that, man. No chance. I don't think so. Let anyone look sharp, but Haye looked sharp in the build-up. They do that with a lot of British fighters. Make them, then break them. Yeah. I ain't falling for the hype this time. I'm not falling for the hype. Who has Bellew beaten? Oh, he fought Makabu and he beat Makabu for the WBC title. Yeah, but who's Makabu? I'm not being funny. Makabu hadn't fought for ages and then he fought Bellew. I'm not disrespecting what Bellew's achieved. But I'm not going to start plateauing him up to some level that he just doesn't belong on. I'm sorry. Just look at resumes. Look at resumes, who Usyk's beaten, how he's beaten them, and then look who Tony Bellew's fought. Let's put the resumes together. Oh, he beat David Haye twice. Okay. Who else? Well, I think Bellew has a better shot against Usyk than Fury has against Wilder. Agree on that. I think the only reason why he's saying that is because Wilder's got that huge punch power and people don't think Usyk can punch. I think Usyk can punch. I think Usyk can punch. I think his punch power is very underrated. What a dreaded left punch from Bellew. Yeah, people are talking about the left hook of Bellew's. Yeah, but I don't see Usyk getting hit. I don't think Usyk is going to get hit with the sort of left hooks that Haye got hit with, or Makabu. I just don't think so. I don't think a guy of that caliber who's won all those amateur fights, a guy who's undisputed champion, if he was that vulnerable, he would have been exposed already. Hey, Stevenson said he will rematch Bellew if Tony wins versus Usyk. Yeah, he did say that, Eugene, but let's be honest. You know and I know that's not happening. That's not happening. Then it's not happening. Sorry. Not happening. Bellew, good fighter. He will go down fighting for sure. But hand speed, movement, skill, class operator is Alexander Usyk. Tony Bellew, good fighter. Alexander Usyk, great fighter. And I'll leave it as that. Thank you all so much, Eugene. Good to see you, brother. We're back. This is the final show from the beautiful island of the Trinidad and Tobago. Bellew's boxing skills are underrated as well, though. He's got great instinct and above average movement. His defensive flaws from earlier are mostly gone. It's better for boxing if Usyk wins. Yeah, sure is. Right, I'm out of here. Bellew may have improved, but Usyk is undisputed, and he's undisputed for a reason. Josh Kelly against Castillo breakdown. Then Egerton on undercard of White Chisora. Nah, I'm not talking about no Josh Kelly, man. I want Josh Kelly. Josh Kelly steps up and fights somebody of real note that can tag him and hit him back. We'll see how good his style is. He's either one of these. Josh Kelly's one of two things. He's either the real McCoy, or he's a hype job on the verge of being exposed. That's why I see it with Josh Kelly. I'm not sure yet. I'm never a great fan of Ryan Burnett, and well, unfortunate what happened, but right, I'm out of here. Thank you all so much for listening. Next show will either be in Antigua or the UK. Thanks for watching. Now I'm going to try and get a couple of hours of managing, get some sleep, and get on a flight. I'll see you later. Take care.